In BFS, there are many hardworking students and outstanding teachers. Mr. and Mrs. Crew are one of them, the most valuable teacher in BFS. They've been contributing to the school for the last 4 years. However, this year will be the last year to see their faces in BFS.
I was talking with Mr. Crew primarily, and also with Ms. Crew, about last March before I came here. So a lot of the questions that I had about the school was answered by Mr. Crew, and we talked a lot about technology, and actually there were some things that he was asking my advice about, and I was asking his advice about. So we actually had a very large dialogue for several months. So he's been a very knowledgeable person here in the school, and I know that in this area of science and technology that he's done a lot of very amazing things here in the school.
I've come in and watched Mr. Crew teach, and he's great. And Mrs. Crew is in charge of all the middle school teachers, and she's very professional, very hard-working. I think she puts a lot of time into this at home at night. Besides their skills as like teachers and student relationships and how to discipline and how to conduct their class, I think they're also very smart about science, biology, chemistry, physical science, earth science. So I think they're experts on the subject that they teach, and they're experts on teaching itself.
I'm actually sad to see them go, because there are so many things they do in the school. They contribute so much to what the school is doing, as far as advising and helping other teachers in the school, helping administration. Every time you turn around, they're involved in something, and that's actually a very positive thing.
First thing about Mr. and Mrs. Crew leaving, it's very sad to see them go, because they're great teachers and great people. But I'm also very excited for their new life with the new baby, and Mr. and Mrs. Crew's big family back in Canada, helping them to raise that baby.
I'm very sad. Again, their dedication to BFS was outstanding. They've been here for a long time, and I think that's kind of the life cycle of international schools. So it's not uncommon to see great, dedicated, long-term teachers eventually leave. I know that they love life in Korea, but they're starting a family, and I think the place for them to be right now would be Canada, to have the support of the grandparents and family and the healthcare system and stuff like that.
Ones that pick up the amino acids to add them to the growing protein chain. So think about that picture that I just had on the board about the growing protein, okay? So I'm going to click play here. I'm from New Zealand, Christchurch, New Zealand, the place that's just had all the big earthquakes in the last year. I teach middle school earth, life and physical science and an applied health class. Why did I choose to come to BFS? Well, I chose to come to Korea first. I didn't know I'd be working at BFS. But after interviewing for different public schools around Korea through the EPIC program, I met the current principal here, who was Mr. Scott Jolly at the time. And I got a really good feeling about the school. It felt like a good community, good group of kids, good staff, and so I chose to come here. My first impression of BFS was that the students really acted like a team. I think if it's a bigger school, like the schools where you can have 2,000 or even 3,000 students, there's lots of divisions and groups, but at BFS it feels like one big team, one big group, and I really like that. Of course, I've stayed here 4 years. Yeah, if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't have stayed so long. And in fact, Mr. Crew and I were considering staying longer. The only reason we're not is because we're having a baby, and we think it's important to be around family for the first year of baby's life. So that's why we're going back to Canada. We're going to live near Mr. Crew's family in Nova Scotia in Canada, which is on the eastern coast of Canada, far east. So it's my first time living in Canada. I've only ever visited Canada before, and in the summers, so I'm a bit nervous about my first Canadian winter. It's going to be really cold. Actually, I've been emailing the new middle school science teacher. It's a woman. Her name's Maggie, and she's already been asking me about curriculum and things here, and she seems very similar to me. Very organized and science driven, so I think she'll do a great job. Yeah. I've had an amazing time here at BFS for the last 4 years. I've met amazing co-workers and teachers who I will always remember and I will always keep in touch with, and I'm really going to miss my students. I care about them a lot. We've formed great relationships, and I'm really sad to be going. But I know that you will go on and be successful without me, but I still feel sad about it.
I liked how Mr. Crew actually gave us a reading guide. Also, we would actually read over the books so we can actually study, and he actually prepared me for the AP exam.
I think he tries hard to use different media stuff. He shows videos in class, and also how he uses website for us to post our opinions and stuff.
And I really would miss Mr. Crew and Mrs. Crew because first of all, Mr. Crew taught me for 4 years, and from 8th grade to 11th grade, and I wish he can actually stay another year to teach me another class of science.
I'm sad, but I'm also graduating this year, so I think yeah, but then it's unfortunate that BFS is losing those 2 good teachers. So yeah, I'm sad.
I hope that they know a lot about the subject, and I'm hoping that you like them. I hope that they can help. I have spoken to the teacher. It's a woman. She's coming in, and she's actually going to teach middle school science and 9th grade biology, because all of the 9th graders this year are going to go to 10th grade where they're going to do chemistry and physics with Mr. Lee. But I have been talking to her. To be honest, students, I want to say it's been a pleasure. Study hard, play hard, and hopefully I'll see you around the world someday. Good luck.
Hi Mr. Crew and Mrs. Crew, I'm Harry.
Hi Mr. Crew.
Hi Mr. and Mrs. Crew. I was in your class for about 3, and this is probably my 4th year, and I would really miss you, and I think you guys are a really cute couple, and I hope the baby can have a good life in Canada, and please email us back about how your baby is and how you are, and please come back to visit Korea. Thank you. Bye. I'll miss you.
I heard you're leaving. I hope you have good life with your new baby, and I think other students should experience your hard classes. You give us a lot of homework and stuff. But yeah, you are a good teacher. We'll miss you. Have a good life.
So I heard that you're leaving next year. After this year, you're gonna go to Canada because there's your baby. You wanted the baby to have a safe place. I'll miss Mrs. Crew yelling at me not to wear my hat and to be quiet. I'll miss Mr. Crew not being able to play soccer with him and then other bio classes.
When I first came here and I saw Mr. Crew, I thought he was a great teacher. But unfortunately, when I heard the news that he's leaving, so as Mrs. Crew, I feel terrible, and I wish they could spend more time here in BFS.
Yeah, we'll both miss you. Bye.
Bye.
What are you going to ask me?
What do you think about Mr. Crew and Mrs. Crew as a teacher?
As teachers? Are you recording already?
Yeah.
It looks a little uneven. Hang on. How's it look now? Fine?
It looks perfect.
Alright.
You look handsome.
What do I think of them as teachers? Did I say what I want to say to BFS students?